So we're here with Petr Broušek from Bellevue restaurant. Thank you very much for having us here.
Hello.
And you have a beautiful view of Charles Bridge and Prague Castle. Unfortunately, it's a bit snowy today, but never mind. And you've actually had more than 20 years in wine service in restaurants.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. And Petr, you have an interesting concept here in the restaurant. So rather than actually first make the food and then try and pair the wine with the food, you actually select the wine first,
Yes.
and then you create dishes to match that wine.
Yeah, true.
And you actually have this degustation menu. So how do people react when they come into the restaurant and they see that there is this option? Do they enjoy it?
Yeah, they enjoy it. Actually, this kind of menu degustation menu, we call it wine club, let's say, and we change the menu and food every 2 weeks actually.
Wow.
And then we have a la carte menu, so
Okay.
so it's quite hard work.
I think so.
to do, and they appreciate it. I mean, the customers, they appreciate it. They have every 2 weeks a new possibility to try some new wine, some new food, and so on. So.
Okay, very nice. And I'm curious, some people probably come to a beautiful restaurant like this and they see a wine list if they choose to choose their own wine, and they're a little bit intimidated. So what's your job as a sommelier in this situation?
That happens sometimes, but
Yeah.
I think the best way is to guide them, to bring them to feeling then they choose the wine,
Okay.
not me. But
Yeah.
guide them and so on. And at the end, the customers has the feeling, I'm good, I choose the great wine.
So you're not the dictator?
No, definitely
you're
never.
the guide. Because I suppose in the past sommeliers had a reputation for being, let's say, quite strict with their recommendations.
You
for
mean
food
here
and
in
wine.
Czech Republic, or
No, internationally.
In general, yeah.
In general, yeah.
No?
I mean, everything's changing. I've noticed that in some restaurants now you can have an iPad wine list.
That's what we have too, actually.
And how does that work for you?
Actually, to be honest, we're starting now, so actually it was quite hard work to put all the details,
Into the system?
into the system.
Yeah.
And we tried, let's say, for 1 week, and I was surprised.
Okay.
The people, they like it.
Yeah.
And doesn't matter if they are young or, let's say, old, and they really appreciate, they like it. I was surprised because I was waiting it. Whoa, what is it? Better than the regular wine list, but I think the reaction was great. So we will continue. And
good. And so take us through an experience with the iPad. So it's not just a list. You can actually go and maybe do a little bit of research on the wines selected, or
it's a wine list actually. Every single wine has some description, exactly, description. Then you can have a look at the location when they are, and then you can go to the internet to the I mean,
to do a Google search, for example.
Either Google search or not every, but mostly the winemakers have the
websites.
Websites, that's what I want to say. So that you can go exactly to the websites and to learn some more about the wines, and it's great.
Very nice.
Yeah.
When you visit other restaurants and you're the customer, is there anything that really annoyed you about the sommelier? Is there anything that's very sort of frustrating to see in other sommeliers yourself?
Then we can maybe go back to the first, or one of the first questions. Sometimes the sommeliers are too
sort of dominating.
Yeah. Sometimes you can have the feeling of okay. But sometimes
so it's very unpleasant, in fact.
Sometimes unpleasant,
Yeah.
Either unpleasant or not so professional.
Okay.
From my position.
Sure.
So he explained something, and I knew it's not true.
Yeah. Yeah.
That happens sometimes, but not often.
Not
I
often.
think it's
getting better.
It's getting better and better.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good. Very nice. Petr, sometimes you might have a table of 4 people. They come and perhaps they order from the a la carte menu, 4 different dishes, but they want 1 bottle of wine to sort of perfectly suit all the food, which we know is impossible. Let's say. But what wines, in your opinion, show the ability to pair with a variety of different foods. What are the wines that are the most flexible, let's say, with
I think
food pairing?
Dry, young white wine with good acidity.
Okay.
You know, if you have good acidity, it's,
Yeah.
it's good with the food, and like young Chablis or,
Okay.
you know, young white wine, I think.
Mosel Cabernet?
Mosel, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
And is there a red wine equivalent? Because some people only like to drink red, so...
Mm.
Would you say Pinot Noir?
Pinot Noir, I would say Pinot Noir, it's my favorite anyway. So
I think a lot of sommeliers, Pinot Noir is their
but
favorite.
the Pinot Noir is, I think, can match also sometimes in fish, you know, it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very good.
Mm.